All right, this next guy, another amazing Chuckle Co member. I said I wasn't going to mention that every time, but he is. And he's in New York for the month, but he came back for this show. Going back tomorrow. For real. Great guy. You guys are going to love him. Put your hands together, everybody, for Mikey Kolberg.
Oh my God! This is insane! Are we having fun? Is this fun? Yes! I think so. All right, let me start off. Let me ask y'all a question. You guys on Tinder? Are you guys on that Tinder shit? Yeah? You guys trying to get some of that smartphone strange? You know what I mean? You guys on there? I'm not on there. I've never used it. I don't understand why suddenly dating needed some fancy new smartphone app, you know? Yeah, right? What happened to just going outside and like interacting with another human being? And then like tracking those interactions in a spreadsheet on Microsoft Excel? You know what I mean? It's like, it's easy, like you got a row for every day of the week. Like call them for eye contact, call them for vocal acknowledgement, call them for first name use. You want to track that in a line graph? You can do that right in Excel. You just highlight the cells, right click, export, boom, you got yourself a line graph. You want to put an image in there? You can do that. You just need a JPEG. So what you do, you set up an FTP server. So that way you don't have to worry about file compression or anything like that. Anyway, then you send her the login info, and if you, like by email. And if you don't have her email, just like write it on a slip of paper and slip it under her door, you know? But everyone's all like Tinder, oh, swipe, swipe, swipe. Where's the romance? It's a good software. I don't know, the weather's getting nicer. I don't know if you guys have noticed this out on the streets lately, but I'm seeing a lot more dogs and a lot more bikes. Do you guys see this? A lot more dogs and a lot more bikes, right? Am I the only one who sees like a potential problem here? Am I the only one who sees this toxic mix that we have brewing on our streets? Does no one else see the? Okay, let me paint a picture for you. Okay, here's what's going down out there. You guys don't even know. You're mixed up in it. You can't even see the deadly danger that lurks. Okay, I saw this guy. He's riding his bike and he's walking his dog behind him. You know what I mean? He's on the street. He's got a little white fluffy dog on a leash, kind of following behind him, just prancing on his little paws, just like oop-a-doop. And nothing happened. But I'm furious. Like, does no one else see this happening? Like, all it's gonna take is like the guy hits a bump or one wrong turn, the leash gets caught in the gears, it just starts winding up like a winch, suddenly the dog's head comes off, like some kind of sick torture trap from one of the Saw movies? You guys not see that happening? It's right in front of our eyes and we're not doing anything about it. We're no better than that clown guy from the Saw movies. We're monsters, we're letting this happen. Anyways, I've got a solution for this very obvious, real problem. What we need to do, it's simple, 2 words, dog lanes. Dog lanes. You got lanes for cars, you got lanes for bikes. It's time dogs got their own lanes. Just like a network of lines that delineate where dogs can go. Like we know this is a proven concept. We know segregation works, you guys. It's happening. Blacks, Jews, gays, all have their own neighborhoods. Everyone's doing great. There's no tension about that at all. I'm just saying we got to do the same thing, like with dogs vis-a-vis lanes, I think. I'm running for mayor. I'm glad now would be a good time to announce it. I wanted to talk about this. This was bothering me. I was watching the news. I don't know if you guys remember this. A couple years ago, there was this the train derailment that happened in Burlington. Do you guys remember that? Like the train went off the tracks and like a couple people died, right? And like, I don't know. There's nothing really funny about that. But the one funny thing about it was they were interviewing this woman, this survivor of the incident, and they were asking her to describe, you know, what happened. They were like, what was it like to be in that train crash? And she said, oh, it was like being in a plane crash. I'm not saying that she's wrong, but just like as an analogy, it's not helpful, you know? Like she doesn't know what it's like to be in a plane crash. She knows what it's like to be in a train crash. That's why we asked her about it. And like nobody who's watching knows what it's like to be in a plane crash because people don't survive plane crashes. It's not a helpful description. And even if you did like survive a plane crash, you're one of the lucky few, you probably don't want to turn on the news and watch a lady describe what it's like to be in a train crash because, I don't know, that's probably going to bring up a lot of traumatic memories about that time you were in a plane crash, you know what I mean? I'm not feeling it. Like she was uniquely qualified to describe train crash, and you're coming to us with plane crash? Seriously? That's like going, oh, spaghetti. Spaghetti, what is that? Spaghetti, I've never tried spaghetti. What's that like? Well, have you ever tried spaghettini? It's a lot like that. Spaghettini is like a very skinny spaghetti. Okay, never mind. Never mind, you guys knew. You already knew. I recently turned 26 years old. Nothing to applaud about, nothing. There's literally nothing good about turning 26. It's not a good one. Like every year before that, there's some kind of milestone or like for some reason, like whether you can like drink or vote or like, you know, you graduated something, like, you know, quarter life crisis, like whatever, like 26, it's nothing. I looked it up. The only thing I could find, I don't know if you guys have read this, but apparently 26 is the age at which the human body stops growing and begins slowly dying. So I got that going now. I'm starting to think this is true. I was at the gym, actually, like just a couple days before my birthday, and I was working out, getting physical, using my body and everything like that. And then I went home. I took a shower, and as I was putting on a fresh pair of underwear, as I farted without meaning to, like a little bit of pee-pee came out. Just like a little bit of pee-pee came out without meaning to. Like, you know when you're in that situation, you put on a fresh pair of underwear and you fart, like which you always, like into every fresh pair of underwear. Just give it a quick, like when you start. And then like without meaning to, a little bit of pee-pee came out. Like, does that ever happen to you? Like, does that ever happen to you? No? But like, how old are you? Oh no, that's rude, sorry. Let's assume she's older than 26. Let's assume she would answer it. Yeah, 90 probably. Basically what I'm saying is that I'm concerned about my health. I'm afraid. The thing about aging is that I knew that I guess I'm old enough to know that I couldn't wear that pair of underwear anymore, you know what I mean? Like I couldn't wear it. That night I had to toss it in the laundry and I had to, But I guess I'm not old enough to know that I probably shouldn't stand in front of a room of strangers and talk about pee-pee? Using the word pee-pee? Do you guys think it's funny when I say pee-pee? I think it's really funny when I say pee-pee. Like I said, I'm 26. My girlfriend is 22. So it's not that big of an age difference. It's not that big. It's not even a big deal at all. But I'm like really starting to notice that the age difference. I think it might be an issue. Like it's only 4 years, but like we might as well be Donald Sterling and V. Stiviano. You know what I mean? Like we just grew up in different worlds, right? It's like a totally different thing. Like she is very like we're just different people. Like she expects like to be treated nicely and like. She goes out into the world and, she wants to be thrilled. She wants to be entertained. She wants, like, the VIP treatment, whereas I'm just, like, I'm very content with life's, like, simpler, like, less expensive pleasures, you know what I mean? Like her idea of a nice night out is going to the ballet and having champagne and, like, getting dressed up, whereas my idea of a date is, like, just walking around and, like, peeking over the fence at construction sites. Just be like, oh, yeah, this is going to be a good building, yeah. I don't know what it is. Like, I'm assuming it has to be like a generation gap. Like, it's not just me, obviously. Nobody else likes going to the ballet. It's just me. It's a generation gap, right? Like she was born in the early 90s. I was born in the late 80s. So, like, I assume it has to do with the Berlin Wall coming down. Like, I think, like, that's the only explanation I can really think of. Like, it's got to be like when I was conceived, like the threat of communism was still a going concern. Like that was a possibility that could like run rampant. And so, when my parents were doing it, that like mojo in the ether just made its way down into my DNA. Like they were fucking all like, oh shit, like I don't know, this Gorbachev guy, I think he knows what he's doing. Like I think he's got a plan. I think he's up to something. And then meanwhile, like the wall comes down, capitalism wins. Her parents are going at it, just like, oh fuck yeah, ketchup's a vegetable, let's go. And now, like, that manifests itself in, like, I feel anxious when she wants to send food back at a restaurant. Like, it's a really serious problem. It's not a serious problem. No, I'm at that age where I'm starting to feel like it's harder to get, like, excited about anything. You know, I mentioned quarter life crisis. I was like, big deal, right? Who gives a shit? But like, I don't know. It's sort of you hit this wall. You're like, you kind of, you know, you did everything you're supposed to do, right? Like you went to school, you got a job, you found a girlfriend, and then it's just like, was that it? Like, or was it? Oh, was no one else keeping track? Like, am I the only one who's really like? Is this like what am I supposed to do next? Like, you know, get married, buy a house, and have kids so that they can experience this ennui? Is that what we're going for? I guess the one thing I am excited about, I got an email the other day. Apparently there's new episodes of Suits on Netflix. You guys watch that show Suits? It's on Netflix. Check it out. Would I like to watch another episode of Suits Netflix? Oh yeah. Oh, you better believe I'd like to do it. Yeah. That's right. I'm not even like passively like laid back just letting episodes of Suits wash over me. No, I'm actively watching Suits. I want to watch another episode of Suits. I don't even let the 20 seconds go by during the credits. You know what I mean? I'm pushing that button. Please, like, what are the Suits gonna get up to this week? You know what I mean? It's about as close as I'm ever gonna get to owning a nice suit. But no, I was talking about my girlfriend, and it's great. Everything's going great. It's fantastic. She's here tonight, guys. Give her a round of applause, please. She's helping out at the bar. You might see her. But like I said, everything's going great. But it wasn't always great. We actually did break up for a short amount of time, and that's on me. Like I dumped her. That was my bad. I did that. I dumped her. Like I dumped her. But I very quickly learned that I had made a hasty mistake. You know what I mean? And the best way to describe how I learned it is this maybe. Like you know when people say that when you get out of a relationship, they're like, oh, don't worry, there's plenty of other fish in the sea, plenty of other fish in the sea. But what I realized is that when you're in a long-term relationship, you're not dealing with a fish anymore. You're dealing with a submarine. You know what I mean? Oh, you want me to explain that? Okay. Okay, so long-term relationship, like a submarine. So first of all, like any relationship, you're deep underwater. You know what I mean? You're deep, deep underwater. But you've got this nice little tube that's been built around you. And it's like, it's cozy, right? Like you can't stand up all the way, but it's like it's built for you. And the food's not bad, right? Like it's pretty good, actually. Like it doesn't turn on a dime, right? But you can get it where you want to go eventually if you put in the orders and the requests. You can get it where you want to go. And I mean, the ping of the sonar doesn't even bother you. You know what I mean? The ping of the sonar, no problem. The ping, we need the sonar. The ping, it's part of why we're here. The ping, it doesn't bother. The ping, and then the ping, and 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 then it starts to drive you crazy, right? And then, but before even going to like the captain and submitting like a request, being like, you know, hey, maybe there are some ways we can improve morale on the submarine, right? Like what I did was just like loaded myself into the torpedo chamber and launched myself into the open ocean, right? And for the first few seconds, it's great, right? Like you can go in any direction. You're thinking to yourself, oh my God, the ocean is vast, right? This is gigantic. But then all that crushing pressure of the gravity in the water, like from the deep, deep water is pressing down on you from every direction. And oh yeah, you can't breathe. So you just start like flailing around in every direction for like whatever fish might be swimming by at that moment, regardless of how inappropriate it might be. You're like, oh God, like starfish, oh fuck, like hammerhead shark, that like next door neighbor fish, like anything, right? And then there's even if you do manage to get a hold of that fish and you're wrestling with it and you're wriggling with it and you're thinking to yourself, wait a minute, I need to be in a submarine. This is a fish. I need to be in a submarine. You know what I mean? And there's no magical Pokemon stone that you can just give your fish and evolve it into a submarine. You know what I mean? There's no rare candy for that. You got to level that shit up. Thank you. No, I guess trying to say just like grass is always greener. So like, guys, thank you very much. I'm Michael Kolberg.
Mikey Kolberg, everybody, keep it going.